Okay, everyone, I think we're going to get started. If I can ask everyone to take their seats, please. Thank you so much. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, honored guests and friends and families of ErinOakKids. My name is Bridget Futrell, and I have the distinct privilege of being the President and CEO of ErinOakKids. Thank you for joining us today at the grand opening of our new Mississauga site. We're thrilled you could be here with us to celebrate this momentous moment in time. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge some of our attendees here today, and I hope I do not miss anyone. The Honourable Charles Sousa, Minister of Finance and MPP for Mississauga South. MPP for Mississauga Arundel, Harinder Takar. MPP for Mississauga Streetsville, Bob Delaney. MPP for Mississauga Brampton South, Amrit Mangat. From Infrastructure Ontario, Senior Vice President Angelo Gismondi. From the Ministry of Children and Youth Services, Peter Mikowski, Director, Capital Branch, and Eden Cantier, Community Programs Manager, Children's Services. From the City of Mississauga, Mayor Bonnie Crombie, and Councillors Ron Starr, Susan McFadden, George Carlson, Nandu Ayanaka, and Pat Sato. From the ErinOakKids Board of Directors, James Sutherland, Board Chair, Carolyn Bell, Nancy Anderson, Pat Bartlett, and Mita Baines. And I'd like to acknowledge that our senior leadership team is here today, along with some management and staff from our new Mississauga site. Linda Rothy, the previous CEO, is here with us this morning. And some of our gracious donors from the Longo's Family Charitable Foundation, Gay Longo, from Alia Corporation, Saul Schulman and Vince Burns, from the W.B. Beamish Foundation, Marilyn, Bob, and Heather Beamish, from the Sorbera Group, Ed and Christina Sorbera, and of course, all the client families who are with us today, including the Kinsley, Lakin, Lowe, and Asante Antwi families. And because we are... And because we are today at the site of our corporate offices, that will be our corporate offices for many a year to come, I'd like to acknowledge a few of the folks who have been on this journey with us, but unfortunately are no longer with us, didn't quite make it to our destination. Lorna Walker, manager of ADRS, the late and great Lorna Walker. Sejal Patel, our operational readiness project coordinator. Great friend of ErinOakKids, our consultant par excellence, Dr. David Sheridan, and of course, Bob McKay, alumni, board director, PhD student, and incredible advocate for ErinOakKids. When you go on your tour later today, and I hope you all will, you'll note that our central courtyard bears Bob's name in his honor and his memory. I know all of these folks are with us today in spirit. Before we officially begin, I'd like to ask that you all mute your cell phones for the next half hour or so. Please be aware that we have media photographers and videographers here today who are capturing the morning's events. We'd also encourage you to tweet and to share photos of the event on Twitter and Instagram using the hashtag EOK Mississauga Hopening, and it's on the screen. And please, please don't forget to pick up your pictures when you leave later this morning. There's a photo booth out there. If you haven't had your picture taken, please do so, and it will be a memento for you of this morning. Now it is my great pleasure to ask to the podium the chair of ErinOakKids, Jamie Sutherland.
It's okay. You can call me Jamie now, Bridget. Thanks very much. Thank you, Bridget. Good morning, honored guests and friends. We're so glad to have you with us to attend this long-awaited celebration. As board chair, I've had the immense pleasure, really a privilege, of helping steward this project to fruition. On behalf of the board of directors, I want to thank the Government of Ontario for its vision and its investment in improving this project. I also want to acknowledge the leadership and unwavering commitment of our President and CEO, Bridget Futrell, in working each and every day to bring these buildings to completion. She, the leadership team, and the staff of ErinOakKids have shown extraordinary fortitude in meeting this goal, and that goal has been singular: to better serve children and youth with disabilities in this community now and for many years to come. This new facility and all that it offers for clients and families will set a new standard of excellence in the delivery of services to kids with disabilities and their families. It's one of 3 new buildings, one here in Mississauga, one in Halton, and a third in Brampton, designed to bring together therapy, medical and support, and recreational services in a single location for children and youth with disabilities. With the addition of a 26-bed facility at the Brampton site, ErinOakKids now houses Ontario's largest respite centre for children who are medically fragile, have complex care needs, or behavioral challenges. This space will provide critically needed periods of relief for caregivers, families, as well as meaningful support and programming for client participants. As a collective, these buildings represent and exemplify all that ErinOakKids embodies: bright, open, inviting, and functional multi-use spaces offer hope, encouragement, and optimized potential for the children and youth we serve, their families, and our community. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I extend our deepest gratitude to all of our supporters on this journey whose destination we mark today. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie, and to our entire board. Upon beginning this journey many, many moons ago, we had no idea how long the road might be, what turns it might take, and when we might reach our ultimate destination. What we did have was an abiding passion and a singular vision built upon that of the families who founded ErinOakKids almost 50 years ago, and all those who came after. Simply, it was to replace outdated, undersized, and inaccessible office spaces we inhabited with new, warm, welcoming facilities specifically designed to meet the needs of the children and youth with disabilities and special needs that we are so very privileged to serve. Spaces that would play to their strengths, take them to the edge of possibility and beyond, and allow them to thrive, each in their own unique and individual way. In short, we yearned for more, we needed more, because we believed our kids deserved more. And that dream of tomorrow has become today's reality, thanks to so many of you. We could never have known at the beginning of the journey how much work it would entail, nor how rewarding the outcome. This morning, we gathered to mark a new beginning for ErinOakKids. Its 850 staff and its 17,000 client families. We are proud and we are grateful to be unveiling our second of 3 new state-of-the-art centers. This Mississauga facility now provides a single point of care for families previously faced with the challenge of traveling to multiple locations for receipt of their services. For the first time, the children we serve have access to a broad range of therapy, medical, autism, and support services that we provide, all under one roof, in new and augmented spaces that are designed to advance their learning, promote their participation and independence, and meet their families' goals. This fully integrated and expanded menu of services, made possible only by these new facilities, will change the trajectory and the future for our young charges. and for the Mississauga communities in which they live and play. And one day, in the not too distant future, where they will work, continue to achieve and contribute. And while we have lived in our new homes for just a moment, the benefits accruing and the rewards being reaped are already highly evident. All one needs to do to be certain is to look around, to listen and watch as parents gather in the resource center to trade thoughts and to network, as children and their therapists count climbing walls and go up the stairs and count from 1 to 26 to the top, or bid farewell in the treehouse after a therapy session. And our climbing wall is right behind there if anyone wants to take a little climb of it later this morning. We can move that around for you. And there are an abundance of smiles and goals met as children interact on the therapeutic playgrounds or gather at the truth windows to learn about the inner workings of a building and to explore their world. Place matters, and in this place, children and youth are building skills, participating, learning, building relationships, and acquiring hobbies and interests that will last them a lifetime. And that is the job of all children, to grow and to be, with the help and support of community surrounding and enveloping them. That is what will happen here for thousands of children now and for many, many more in the years to come. The nature and design of these buildings, the opportunities they afford, and the connections they foster provide a place in which children and youth can and will maximize their abilities and define their unique potential, as do we all, given the richness of time. We are honored to be part of this legacy, to be connected to the past and to the future, and to carry forward the work of the intrepid parents who established ErinOakKids over 50 years ago. It will continue to grow and evolve in this beautiful facility, thanks to so many. To our Government of Ontario, thank you for your leadership in making this investment in youth and children with disabilities in our communities. To our Ministry of Children and Youth Services, both the capital and operating branches, for your unfailing support as we have moved through all phases of this project. To Minister Sousa, whose stalwart support and encouragement were instrumental to this success, we are forever grateful. To MPPs Harinder Takar, to our own Bob Delaney and Amrit Mangat, thank you so very, very much. To the City of Mississauga, Mayor Bonnie Crombie and Councillor Ron Starr for their dedication to our cause. To our wonderful donors who provided the funding for everything that you see in these buildings. To the host of supporters we are proud to call our friends, we are deeply indebted to you all. Together, we have laid the foundation for the next chapters in the story of ErinOakKids. We know it is a bright one, one filled with endless hope and possibility. And now it is my distinct privilege to introduce the Honourable Charles Sousa, Minister of Finance and MPP for Mississauga South. Minister Sousa was first elected to provincial parliament in 2007. Since taking office, he has held a number of positions, including Minister of Labour, Minister of Immigration and Citizenship, and Minister responsible for the 2015 Pan and Para-Pan American Games. He currently serves as Vice Chair of the Treasury Board and Management Board of Caucus. In 2009, Minister Sousa unanimously passed his private member's resolution for inclusion of financial literacy education in elementary and secondary school curriculums. As Minister of Labour, he led a comprehensive overhaul of Ontario's occupational health and safety system. Minister Sousa's commitment to community service earned him the Queen's Gold Jubilee Medal in 2003 and the Queen's Diamond Jubilee Medal in 2012. He has been and is a tireless advocate and supporter of ErinOakKids, and we are thankful for his tremendous support. Please join me in welcoming Minister Charles Sousa.
Thank you, everyone, and colleagues, Madam Mayor, Councillor, Chair, President, honorable people, all of you. The kids and the parents especially. What a beautiful building. You know, I recall when we had these discussions not many years ago, it seems, it was, hard to fathom that we would actually be able to achieve it because it's a really broad and extraordinary project, 3 of them. And it's been achieved because of your dedication, your hard work, and the community's support. And I'm so very, very proud of the work that all of you do. It's a grand opening here at Erin Oaks. I'd like to thank the staff especially. I know how hard it is, and we all have someone in our family that's touched by the work that is done by folks like you, folks that support people in ErinOakKids, certainly in my family. We know how special that is, helping children to maximize their opportunities for independence, for health and well-being. Your tireless efforts are truly making a difference in our communities. More than 16,000 children and their families count on Erin Oaks every year. And we know that demand for services is growing in a way that the 10 different sites could no longer allow or meet. And that's why our government, together with so many extraordinary donors and supporters from the community, invested more than $163 million in the construction of the 3 new Erin Oak facilities here in Mississauga, as well as in Oakville and Brampton. And I've been privileged now to present 6 budgets, but this one was kind of special for me because it had ErinOakKids all over it, right? It was all about supporting the needs of our community. These new facilities have more than doubled the space for available treatment and therapy, ensuring that all local area kids who require those special needs, supports, and services will continue receiving the help they need. The best help comes from ErinOakKids because each facility is equipped to deliver a wide array of services. Families no longer have to travel to multiple locations, making it easier to access treatment. I'm looking forward to this visit. Just the pictures alone tells an extraordinary story of the tremendous services that are provided here. Our government believes in investing in care. It's why we're investing more than $300 million over 3 years in special education. It's why we're providing an extra $62 million through the new Ontario Autism Program, on top of the $500 million we invested to expand and improve services for children and youth with autism spectrum disorder. Our government knows that we have a responsibility to support these kinds of cares that positions children and youth with special needs for success. It's all part of our plan to provide care and opportunity for the people of Ontario and all the people of Ontario. The real champions, though, are yourselves. The heavy lifting is done by many of you. And I feel privileged to be part of the witness of the success of ErinOakKids and the tremendous work it'll continue to do for the benefit of our families and our children. Congratulations, everyone, for the work you do.
Thank you, Minister Sousa, for your outstanding support of this project and of the children and youth we serve. I would now like to call upon Eden Kantke, Community Programs Manager, Children's Services from the Ministry of Children and Youth Services Central Regional Office. Eden provides strategic leadership for the autism and special needs portfolios across York, Simcoe, Dufferin, Peel, Halton, Wellington, and Waterloo. You travel a lot, don't you? Please join me in welcoming Eden to the podium.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for the kind introduction, Bridget. Yes, I do travel a lot, but no more so than you guys have in this journey that has brought you here over these number of years to result in the construction of these 3 beautiful new buildings. Thank you for your warm welcome. On behalf of the Ministry of Children and Youth Services, it is my pleasure to be here to celebrate with you today the grand opening of the Mississauga site. This is a project, as many people have been speaking to, that has been in the works for many, many years. If you added up the days, the number of hours, the sleepless nights, the hard hats, the construction boots that people have worn, the tireless dedication, I think we would need to write its own book in order to capture it all. And so this project is so exciting to see it finally come to fruition and come to life. I'm delighted that the new Oakville site is also now open and also providing important services that children with cognitive and physical disabilities that will help them remain in home communities for the long term, home with their families, home with their siblings, home with their neighbors. We want children to thrive and participate fully in every aspect of society, no matter their background or ability. We also want our children to have timely and effective access to care and services that they need when they're faced with cognitive and or physical disabilities. As the largest of Ontario's 21 children's treatment centres, ErinOakKids has a strong reputation for collaboration and service excellence in the communities it supports. Each year, ErinOakKids delivers services to more than 16,000 children and youth with physical, developmental, and communication disabilities, including autism. It plays such a critical role, I cannot understate it. It cannot be described, its role in helping clients and their families gain independence, gain health, well-being through therapeutic health and technical assistance programs. The new 300,000 square feet more than doubles the old therapy space. What an absolute privilege it will be to see children and their families and the staff be able to work in these wonderful, wonderful buildings. It will improve coordination between services while making services more accessible and responsive to individuals, to children, to youth, to their families. This is just one example of the many new and innovative spaces that ErinOakKids will now have to serve children and youth. The treatment rooms, the therapeutic playrooms, the resource center. If anyone's been in the snoozlin room yet, you should. It's remarkable. A youth drop-in center, an audiology area, and that's just a few of the phenomenal and wonderful spaces that will help our children learn and grow. In closing, I'd simply like to thank ErinOakKids' senior management, to Bridget, for the board of directors, to all the staff, volunteers, families and donors that have come together to make this project that was sort of a pipe dream years and years ago, now a reality. Thank you. Congratulations to you, to ErinOakKids and their staff. Thank you.
Thank you, Eden. And yes, we have lots of hard hats and lots of work boots. So if anyone is planning a renovation gig in the next while, come on up to my office. There's an assortment you can choose from. I'd now like to ask MPP Harinder Takar to come to the podium. MPP Takar was first elected to the Ontario Legislature in 2003 as MPP for Mississauga Centre. He was elected as the MPP for Mississauga-Arundel in 2007 and re-elected in 2011 and 2014. MPP Takar has served in several senior ministerial roles where he has championed small business, consumer protection, and fiscal accountability. He has served as Minister of Government Services, Minister of Transportation, and as Ontario's first Minister of Small Business and Entrepreneurship, as well as Minister of Small Business and Consumer Affairs. He has been a strong advocate for ErinOakKids, and we are most thankful for his support of this new building, which now sits in his riding. Please welcome MPP Harinder Takar.
Thank you, Bridget, and good morning, everyone. Actually, my office is just around the, very close by here. So I walked through and drive through this road every day, and I have seen this building, watched this building coming from a green field to digging of the foundation, pouring the concrete, and coming to this farm. So congratulations to each and every one of you. I know sometimes the politicians don't get a lot of credit, but we have our own finance minister, so it's much easier to get the funding, right? And I also want to tell you, every year Charles asks us to give us the priority projects for our own ridings. Bridget, I want to tell you, one year, every single MPP in Mississauga, the priority project was ErinOaks. So that actually speaks in volume to all the work that you have done. And we really want to say thank you to your board. And I think the government has helped, and they're doing exactly what you wrote there, investing in the future of children and youth. And we are very proud. At the end of the day, it's a state-of-the-art building, and it's going to serve the needs of the children very, very well. But it's not about the building, really. It's about the children. It's about the families that we serve. And but I understand there will be 5,000 students the children will be served here. 25% of all the cases will be served here. So this building is going to be a great building. It's in my riding. I'm very proud of this building, and I really want to say thanks to all the MPPs as well who has worked really, really hard. I want to say Delaney, I think countless times he talked about ErinOak's project in the legislature. So all these people deserve a lot of credit. I know their election is coming as well. At the end, I would like to thank all the members of the ErinOakKids staff for helping to create a positive environment at this facility and their dedication to improving the lives of children and families they serve. I would like to thank the board of directors for their leadership. Bridget, for your vision. Actually, this wouldn't have come together if you weren't here. So we really want to say thank you. And I think at the end, I really want to say it is about the families and it's about the children. And I'm very proud that this building has come together to serve the needs of the children. So keep up the good work, and we are really, really happy to have this building right here in the center of Mississauga and definitely in my riding. Thank you.
Thank you, MPP Takar. I remember one year, not a few years ago, when Linda Kenny, who's with us today and is now the CEO of Kidsability, was actually the CEO of Oakers. And she had been down at Queen's Park, and she called me one afternoon. She said, you know what, Bridget? She said, there's something going on down there. But she said, I spent the afternoon, I think it was just before budget lockup. And she said, all the MPPs are talking about ErinOakKids. We went, yes, we may get this project after all. So you're right, it's just been the incredible work of everyone combined who have made this dream come to reality for all these children who will be served in these beautiful buildings for the next generations to come. And no one more than our next guest that I'd like to bring up, and that's MPP Bob Delaney. Bob has just been a stalwart supporter of ErinOakKids forever, and Linda Rothney, who's here, will know that and remember that, because from the moment of our thought about new facilities, Bob has been part and parcel of helping bring that to forward for us and getting approvals. And he even has some beautiful plants that are planted outside that he grew himself and are now part of our landscaping. So thank you, Bob. MPP Delaney was first elected to the Ontario Legislature in 2003 as the MPP for Mississauga West. Before joining government, Bob was a web developer and consultant and taught internet marketing, planning, budgeting, and business statistics. In 2007, he was elected as the MPP for Mississauga-Streetsville, then re-elected in 2011 and 2014. He currently serves as parliamentary assistant to the Minister of Infrastructure and has been, as I said, a tremendous supporter of ours and the community since this project's very inception. We are all so grateful for his efforts, and please, Bob, come to the podium.
Thank you, Bridget, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, especially to my friends and colleagues. You know, it takes a very special kind of love to be a parent of a child who is served here at ErinOakKids. And it takes a very special kind of professional to work here at ErinOakKids.
Your 1030 client has arrived. Sylvia, your 1030 client.
And now this word from our sponsor. The very reason that there's a special place in heaven for the community of kids, parents, staff, volunteers, and others is because of the way that everyone comes together to give dignity, purpose, care, and love for the very children challenged by their ability to learn and function. During the first week after I was first elected as an MPP, parents of autistic children began to come and visit me. And at the time, I knew very little about the challenges of autism and other learning disorders. So one of my first visits was to introduce myself to Linda Rothney, whom I'm so glad to see here, then president of ErinOak, later to be renamed ErinOakKids. And she and other staff and board members and young adults served by ErinOakKids taught me the vital importance of what happens here. It began a process of nearly a decade and a half of working with the various ministries and with my colleagues to expand operational funding, get funding for new programs, and most of all, to convince the Ministry of Children and Youth Services of the need for state-of-the-art facilities for Ontario's largest children's treatment centre. Some 7 years ago, former Minister Laurel Broughton, who now lives in Nova Scotia, worked with all of us as MPPs here from Peel Region, including then MPP and now Brampton Mayor Linda Jeffrey. And in that year, as Charles said, that was our one ask at budget time, and that was funding for this project. And we got the decision to build the 3 new buildings in Mississauga, Brampton, and Oakville, and thank you in absentia to Laurel and to Linda. Bridget Futrell and her wonderful people here have helped us all keep an eye on progress and ensure that any unexpected delays from the province didn't happen. When I was first elected, ErinOak served some 5,000 kids. And now this magnificent centre, the largest of its kind in Ontario, right here with 103,000 square feet of service space just in this building, helps Ontario's best children's service staff look after almost 17,000 clients and their families with a staff of 850 across all 3 sites. One of the privileges of elected office is the opportunity, over and above the things that you thought you would do when you got elected, to do something that has some lasting value, something that's going to endure well past the time when you call yourself whatever it is that you were when you served in public office. And I know I'm always going to remember with pride my years in public office and the small part that I played in advocacy on behalf of ErinOakKids. I know as I pass this building on the way to and from Queen's Park on the GO train, I always look at it and I think to myself, I helped get that done. As Bridget has said, there are 2 trees that came to our yard when they were about as big as your forefinger and grew up in our backyard that Andrea and I are very proud and pleased to think will be part of the landscape here at ErinOak long past our time, and that for us, I'm looking forward to seeing where they are actually. Congratulations, ErinOakKids. Welcome home. Thank you for the precious opportunity to bring the resources of Ontario to Mississauga, to Brampton and Oakville to serve the kids and families whose need defines the greatness of our province of Ontario in rising to this challenge to build ErinOakKids.
Thank you so much, Bob. It was no small feat, and it was no small portion that you played in this success. We truly appreciate all that you have done. You couldn't be a better friend to our organization and to the children of this community. Please join me now in welcoming MPP Amrit Mangat to the podium. Elected in October 2007, MPP Mangat has the distinction of being the first woman of Asian heritage to serve as an MPP for Ontario. Representing the riding of Mississauga-Brampton South, MPP Mangat also serves as parliamentary assistant to the minister responsible for women's issues and the minister responsible for our friend, accessibility. Prior to immigrating to Canada, MPP Mangat worked as a teacher, and upon coming to Ontario, she obtained her Ontario College of Teachers certification. She has also managed several small businesses and has worked as a senior administrator in a law firm. In 2012, MPP Mangat was honored with the Queen Elizabeth Diamond Jubilee Award for her years of community service and achievement. Please welcome MPP Amrit Mangat.
Thank you, Bridget, for your kind introduction, and good morning, parents, kids, distinguished guests, and colleagues in public office. Like everyone in this room, I'm also as thrilled as you are, as we have come together at the grand opening of ErinOakKids in Mississauga. It's a big day for Mississauga. It's a great news for Mississauga. As Bridget has said, that it's a dream come true. So true that this state-of-the-art facility will serve our kids who need the most, and they will be helping them to reach their best potential so that they can lead meaningful lives. And today, that is why we are here. And it is not the work of a one person. It's a team. It's a work of entire team, parents, volunteers, donors. And on that happy note, I would like to thank Team ErinOakKids, all the donors, volunteers. As my colleague Bob said, that you need a special kind of person to do this kind of work. So thank you so very much for coming here every day and supporting families, supporting kids. And this is what our government believes in, investing in the care of people, so that we can have a stronger and fair Ontario. And opening of this ErinOakKids Center in Mississauga is a perfect example of when organizations, communities, and governments work together, this is what communities can achieve. Congratulations to team, parents, and volunteers, everyone, and every resident of Mississauga here. Congratulations once again. Have a great day.
Thank you, MPP Mangat. I would now like to call to the podium our Mayor of Mississauga, Bonnie Crombie. Mayor Crombie was elected as Mayor of Mississauga. You have to have your intro. Mayor Crombie was elected as Mayor of Mississauga in 2014. Since then, among many achievements, she has secured full funding for the Huron-Ontario Main Light Rail Transit Project and launched the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Task Force. The task force brings together business leaders, academia, and the public to identify strategies to transform Mississauga into a hub for innovation and investment. Prior to her election, Mayor Crombie served as the Ward 5 City Councillor and previous to that as MPP of Parliament for Mississauga-Streetsville. Please welcome Mayor Bonnie Crombie.
Well, thank you, Bridget, for that long and beautiful introduction. What a glorious day, isn't this? The sun is shining and we're here in this beautiful building. I'm so elated. Thank you. Thank you to everyone for your generosity. It's just a pleasure to be with you, all of you this morning. And there are a couple of my colleagues I see in the room that went unnoticed, but they slipped in, so let me please. I see Councillor George Carlson from Ward 11. Councillor Carolyn Parrish is here from Ward 5. Councillor Nando Unica is here from Ward 7. I think that's it. Is that it? And then, of course, Councillor Starr, who I think will be probably up next to speak too. So thank you. Thank you all for championing ErinOakKids along with our provincial members our Finance Minister, Charles Sousa. You are a real champion. Without you, this wouldn't have been possible. And to Bob Delaney. I don't know if you're aware of this, but when Bob sat down, he was still teared up. I know how emotional he is about this project and how personal it has been for him. So it's your passion that has really driven this, Bob, and we all know that, and we all thank you, of course. To Harinder Takar and to Amrit Mangat, who are also champions. It takes a team. to do something like this. So we're grateful. We're grateful. I'm also grateful and thankful to the dedicated team right here of professionals and the volunteers at ErinOakKids. And I want to thank you for allowing me to celebrate this grand opening with you at this new Mississauga location. And of course, to the provincial government for providing the funding, which is key to building the state-of-the-art facility. ErinOaks has a long history of supporting children and youth, especially youth with special needs in Mississauga. In fact, ErinOak opened their first location almost 50 years ago here in Mississauga on South Millway. A family from Mississauga wanted to be able to access the services they needed for their child without having to travel downtown to Sick Kids Hospital. The first location was in a small schoolhouse where they served over 20 clients and their families. And now here we are with over 850 staff and 16,000 clients from right across the northern GTA, Orangeville, Brampton, Halton, Mississauga. ErinOakKids has single-handedly changing the way we support our children and our youth with disabilities and special needs right across the province. Mississauga families can now access therapy, medical and support services for their children, all under one roof, this beautiful state-of-the-art facility. And they'll also be able to benefit from expanded services and programs specifically designed to support the learning of their children with developmental needs. And with this new location being conveniently located in a short distance to Riverwood Conservancy, I see a few of the Riverwood folks here today, ErinOakKids plans to expand their the programming they offer at the Conservancy this summer. So that whether your child has autism, is blind, has low vision, or a physical disability, you can be assured that they will be getting the support they need when they need it right here at ErinOaks. So once again, of course, I want to thank the provincial government and recognizing the importance of investing in a facility like ErinOakKids. I want to thank the staff and the leadership for the work that you do to ensure that the children and the families in Mississauga are supported in the best possible way. So congratulations, it's a great day. Congratulations on the grand opening, and we wish you much success, as I know you will have, and I do have a little certificate. If you want to hop up, Bridget, maybe your chair, maybe I'll get Ron up too. You've got your own, but we can come up. It's to ErinOaks, I won't read it, it's pretty much what I've already said, but on the day of your opening. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mayor Crombie. It is now my pleasure to call upon a great supporter of ErinOakKids, City Councillor Ron Starr. Councillor Starr was elected to council in 2010, representing Ward 6 in the City of Mississauga and Region of Peel. He also served as Ward 7 councillor for the City of Mississauga and Region of Peel from 1978 to 1980. Ron is fully committed to the diverse community groups that comprise the City of Mississauga. This dedication, along with his extensive charitable activities, has earned him significant recognition within and across the community. We ourselves have been the grateful recipient of Councillor Starr's Stars on the Credit fundraiser for 2 years running, soon to be a third, and to date, he has raised well over $300,000 for ErinOakKids. This new facility sits in his ward, and we are honored to call Ron a friend. Ron, please come up.
Well, you know, this is the problem of speaking. I think I'm the last speaker, and everybody said all the great things. So all I can say is what a wonderful facility for kids and youth with abilities, not disabilities. You know, I look around and I really wasn't familiar with ErinOakKids until about 5 or 6 years ago, and I even said to Bridget a couple of times and some of the other staff, lift the bushel basket off the light, because, you know, it's such a great facility, and we're we're so privileged to have such a dedicated staff and all the volunteers. All I want to say is that I and my family took a special interest in ErinOakKids, and I think children and youth with disabilities and abilities affects everybody. If I asked everybody to raise their hands, they'd say, yes, we know somebody, yes, somebody in the family. And I have to say, I'm fearless in promoting ErinOakKids now. Everybody I talked about ErinOakKids. Well, what's ErinOakKids? Well, you know what? And I say another thing, in the fundraising side, come to Stars in the Credit or someplace else and you'll learn all about it. And, you know, that's, our family took a real interest. And what I want to say is that when you see the children that are able to do more in life because of the help they get, because of the therapy, because of the genuine love from the volunteers and the staff, that's what makes the difference. I want to say, Bridget, and to the board, you know, you do a great job. The volunteers, the staff, they all do a great job. And that's what it's all about. And I just want to say that based on, I was going to mention Stars in the Credit, and if you haven't been to Stars in the Credit, this is a great venue we have. It's June 21st this year, 14 years in the running, and we have raised more money for ErinOakKids than any of the other causes that we've supported over the 14 years. So I made it a personal commitment that by the end of this particular event on June 21st, we're going to pass $500,000 for ErinOakKids, and the Star family will make up any difference. So I have to tell you, Bridget, I talked to my daughter this morning, and she says, well, Dad, that could be a lot of money. I said, daughter, number one, money's only money. So, you know what, and that's what it's about. And that's why I encourage everybody here that if you can, donate to a great cause. And I'm thoroughly committed, and you know, we exceeded all expectations for anything we've done for ErinOakKids, and it's for the kids. That's what it's all about. So thank you very much for including me and all of yours, and thank you, Minister, and the rest of your colleagues. You know, without the money, and I don't know, nobody ever mentioned the dollar amount, but it is hundreds of millions of dollars that the province put in. So, you know, thank you, Minister, and to the rest of your colleagues. It was really great. So, Bridget, I have a little certificate from Ward 6, the best ward in all of Mississauga. I have to say that. And yeah, come on up, and it's just a recognition of the official grand opening. Madam Mayor, do you want to come up too?
Okay, there we go. Great.
You notice we don't have any budget for framing.
We're cheap. That's what Hazel taught us.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Thank you.
Hazel taught us, no frames, no frames.
Thank you, Ron, for your support of the Mississauga community, for your support of ErinOakKids. We are in your debt and very thankful. I would now like to ask you to turn your attention to the screens. We have a short video that shows you a little bit of the 10-year journey that we have been on most recently to get approval of and build these facilities. I don't have any popcorn for you, but we will dim the lights, and I promise lunch will be coming soon. Okay? Thank you. Can we dim the lights? Yeah. It seems hard to believe, a little bit surreal, in fact, that we are actually here. And this has been a journey of 10 years. We did a lot of advocating at Queen's Park. We had asked for 3 sites. So when we were approved for 3 sites and for our wonderful 26-bed respite facilities, it was a very poignant moment. In May 2011, to much fanfare, we were announced as the biggest redevelopment project in the history of Ministry of Children and Youth Services. Next came the fun of finding and buying our new sites. And in 2015, we broke ground on all 3 sites. It's real, finally. We will open new doors to empower the children we serve to pursue their dreams for the next 40 years and beyond.
These 3 new buildings exemplify everything that ErinOakKids stands for. They are going to set an example for how children with disabilities will be treated.
This is an idea that's taken from a concept shown on a set of drawings that resulted in the fabulous buildings that we have now. We purposely designed all 3 buildings to be very similar.
As the buildings were being designed and built, we were also redesigning and reorganizing ourselves so that once we both came together and we actually moved in, our staff would be comfortable, they'd be prepared and trained and ready to hit the ground running and start delivering services to clients and families. These buildings are going to be bigger than anything we're used to. These buildings are going to have technology that we don't have right now. These buildings are going to bring teams together that have never been brought together before. So all of that required us to really take a high-level view of how we organized ourselves and how we worked together.
Welcome you all to our first speech meeting on site. No more community centers, gyms, libraries. I hope everyone's been settling into your new sites, your new desks, exploring the toys.
The most meaningful moment of this project was driving up to the new sites on the first day of service delivery to clients and families, seeing our beautiful buildings, seeing the ErinOakKids flag waving, and welcoming our little clients and their families.
Being there as those very first clients walked through the door, being able to watch them as they interacted with the space.
Ezra walks in and he's all over the map, checking out all the cool doors and hallways. He sees this fireplace, which is like the coolest thing to him.
These little details that were incorporated into the building and into the design instantly became part of the experience of ErinOakKids. The truth windows, there were 3 children in a row with their faces just glued to the window watching the elevator gears. He runs through the doors. I can't keep up with him in the parking lot.
It's bigger and it's better. It is so open. It is so bright. This building is full of hope. All the windows and the light and the colors just speak to that.
ErinOakKids is finally in buildings that represent the amazing work that gets done here at ErinOakKids.
These buildings are a game changer.
There's greater opportunity for interprofessional when we all get to work alongside of each other.
I can just hop over to somebody's desk and quickly get some professional development in a short period of time.
So there's more opportunities for collaboration.
It's important for parents to be able to come to a single site for all the services that they need for their children.
It has all the facilities that the kids need, the gyms, the washrooms.
There are things that I can do here that I could never do at my site before. Our ADL kitchen, our playgrounds, our gym. There's just so many more services that we can do now that we couldn't do before. They've made the site fun. So it's not just a place to come for therapy, but it's a fun place that family members want to go to and spend time.
We have all the toys and tools that we need in these bright, beautiful spaces. Kids are really happy to come back again and again.
I like it because it's fun and it's where I get to see my friends I don't get to see every single day.
It's the biggest respite facility in the province, and it's the only respite facility that will allow us to serve children who are otherwise hard to serve and whose families never get a break. So children who are medically complex and children who are behaviorally complex.
It's kind of like where I grew up, basically, like home to me.
Every kid wants to go to this place because they feel like happy.
I don't know what I would have done without ErinOakKids.
Buildings and things are shiny, for a second, but a relationship is always shining. It's the people. The biggest impact ErinOakKids is having on our lives, Ezra's lives, is giving us the tools to better his life. He was never supposed to have function below the waist. He was never supposed to stand. He was never supposed to crawl. He was never supposed to ride a bike.
We bring about change here. We bring about hope here. There are things that our clients do here that they've never done for their families before. I've heard first words. I've been there for first steps. And those type of miracles get to happen here. And that is absolutely amazing.
These buildings could not have come to fruition without the assistance of many. To the Government of Ontario, our funding Ministry of Children and Youth Services, our local MPPs, and generous donors, thank you so very much. These new facilities will stand for decades as a legacy to your vision and your support. Okay, and now the real deal, what we're really all about. It is my pleasure to invite to the podium an ErinOakKids family, the Lackins, parents Natasha and Ray, and sons Nathaniel and Micah. I don't know if Micah's coming up, but whomever would like to come up, please do so.
Good morning, everyone. It is indeed an honor to speak before you today. My husband Ray and I are thrilled to share with you our experience here at ErinOakKids. I'm sure most of you, if not all, have heard of Disney World, correct? Yeah. Well, this is our magic place. This is where our dreams have come true. Our son Nate, commonly known here as Nate the Great, has been a part of the ErinOakKids family for the past 4.5 years. Our other son, Micah, has recently been diagnosed with ASD, autism spectrum disorder, and has recently joined ErinOakKids. Nate has been diagnosed with global developmental delay and had open heart surgery at Sick Kids Hospital at 3 months old. He has a whole list of diagnoses, but to make it short, he is nonverbal, non-mobile, low tone, has hydrocephalus, asthmatic, cortical visual impairment, and is G-tube fed. He started ErinOakKids with little to no core muscle strength. He was unable to eat orally and completely nonverbal. Now, Nate has improved in these areas with the help of his therapist at ErinOakKids. I remember how much I prayed for Nate just to be able to hold his head up and look me in the eyes and smile. Now, Nate not only looks at me and smiles, but he's hugging and he's kissing, and I can't get enough. As parents of a child who is medically fragile and technology dependent, ErinOakKids has provided several services to help increase Nate's quality of life. He agrees. We have received services in the area of occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy, behavioral therapy. We have also been a part of the feeding clinic here to help support Nate in learning how to eat orally, the seating clinic here to help find the best wheelchair for Nate, and a toddler club, which helped Nate to learn how to socialize with functional play. We have also received services from a phenomenal service navigator, Denise Snowden. and a wonderful social worker, Ann Clements. I have seen firsthand how ErinOakKids therapists work through dedication, perseverance, and compassion. They continue to be dedicated day in and day out, appointment after appointment, to help Nate reach his full potential. Nate now enjoys playing with his brother Micah and his sister Maya. He enjoys school and is loved by many of his classmates. I remember when this was just a dream. Today, it's our reality. Our son Micah is part of the Early Intervention Demonstration Program with the wonderful Caroline Citrami. This is a fairly new program to ErinOakKids. This program involves intense parent coaching and an online webinar, which provides me with excellent tools to learn more about ASD and ways to support Micah through this journey. The Early Intervention Demonstration Project has educated me on ways to support Micah with daily routines and allowing him to maintain a role in diaper change, in bathroom routine, in meal prep. Can you think how exciting this is to have him in the kitchen, grabbing his bowl and his spoon? I'm excited for when he's going to start doing the dishes and vacuuming. But his role in these tasks has only motivated him, and me as well, and Ray. Today, we are excited to continue this journey here at our new site. Our new site offers new opportunities. ErinOakKids thought long and hard on ways to create new spaces to continue to let our children thrive. By creating an outdoor play area, which you've seen on the video, our therapists can now support play in addition to what they already do. This is completely new and very much needed. ErinOakKids finally has a snoozling room. For our kids with sensory disorder, it can be an ideal escape to calm the mind and experience complete sense of relaxation. And to see the look on my boy's face with the sense of calmness, I can truly appreciate that. ErinOakKids' new location means more essential opportunities for our kids to grow, learn, and to continue to increase their quality of life. And for that, we are forever grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lacan family. Hearing the impact of our new spaces that they're having on families has made this journey even more special to us at ErinOakKids, and you're an inspiration. Of course, a huge part of bringing this project to fruition has been our incredible donors. So again, I'd like to thank the Longos Family Charitable Foundation, the Sorbara Group, for your generous donations to our organization. We could not be more thankful. I'd also like to take this opportunity to recognize the W.B. Beamish Foundation. Heather, Bob, and Marilyn, for your foundation's most remarkable donation to ErinOakKids. The W.B. Beamish Foundation is dedicated to improving the quality of life for individuals through a number of initiatives in the areas of medical research, education, and healthcare. The WB in the name of the foundation was chosen to represent and honor both the company and its founding family. The W is for the Woodbridge Group, Woodbridge Foam Corporation, which is a privately owned Canadian corporation in the business of manufacturing interior components for the global automotive industry. In particular, polyurethane foam seating. You probably sat on one of their products today on the way here. Woodbridge is in its 40th year, having started with an acquisition of a single plant in Woodbridge, Ontario. The B is for the Beamish family. Bob Beamish, with the support of his wife Marilyn, co-founded Woodbridge with his business partner almost 40 years ago. Their 3 children, along with their spouses, and 9 grandchildren, is it still 9? It could be 10 any minute. Okay. Support various initiatives through the WB Family Foundation. The foundation is coming up on its 20th year. Today, the foundation's gift represents the largest gift ever in the history of ErinOakKids. The endowment will help fund vital services and supports that would not otherwise be possible without this kind of exceptional contribution. This gift will enable clients of ErinOakKids to access the supports they need to pursue their dreams in a way they could never have imagined. In recognition of this most generous gift, ErinOakKids Mississauga site will carry the name the W.B. Beamish Foundation Clinical Site. So, there it is. Thank you. On behalf of ErinOakKids and our board of directors, our sincere thanks to Bob, Marilyn, and Heather for this truly historic contribution to ErinOakKids. Thanks again. Now, I'd like to invite all of the dignitaries to join us on stage for the formal ribbon-cutting ceremony. I don't know if we have enough scissors. Great. I think we're going to take this away.